Hello all, this is Dave from the library. I'm the computer guy. This is my master baker daughter, Gwen. And today we're going to be making scones for you. We've gone ahead and pre-measured everything and set it out. So it's all ready to mix in. Gwenny, can you read your first step for everyone?
2 cups of all-purpose flour.
All-purpose flour. No, right here. It's already measured. Remember? Go ahead and pour it in. And then what else?
Half a cup of grunted sugar.
Granulated sugar. And then what we got to do is we got to whip some air into that. A lot of people like to use a sifter, but Gwenny likes to make it a little more fun. So, okay, Gwen, stir some air into it. Now, when you're doing this, you want to be real careful to not flip it up and let the flour and everything go everywhere, because that would just coat the entire counter and everything. Is that good, Gwenny? All right, what's our next step?
1 teaspoon of salt.
Okay, that's all in there. That was all pre-measured. And the baking powder's in there too. The recipe will be posted before and after the video, by the way.
2 1/2 teaspoons baking powder.
Yep, that's in there. We're going on to our liquid ingredients, or our cold ingredients.
Oh.
What's first?
1/2 a cup of unsalted butter, frozen.
Unsalted butter. All right, let me pause this for a second as I get that out. Okay, we got the butter out, but Gwenny, before you mix this butter, because you're going to be mixing it by hand, what's the most important thing to do?
You gotta wash your hands really, really good.
Okay, let's go ahead and do your butter. Now, the recipe does say you can use a grater and grate the butter, but we like to chop it up into teeny tiny little squares, huh? You got to add all that butter in there, and then you're going to mix it by hand until it comes to like a pea-sized crumble.
Daddy, this butter doesn't want to
There you go. This is the part I think she likes the best. Digging in there, mixing it up. Smile, Gwenny. She's my little master chef. She likes to help me cook and do all of it. Get your fingers in there deep and move it around. Okay, I'm going to pause real quick as we finish stirring this up for the next step. Okay, we've gotten the stuff mixed up real good and put in the fridge to stay cool. Now she's going to mix her wet ingredients. She's already got her egg and her vanilla in there. Now she needs a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. Now there are a lot of recipes. Some call buttermilk and different things. We like the heavy whipping cream because it gives it a little better flavor to us. But everyone has their own preference. Was that a full 1/2 cup, or do you need a little bit more?
A little bit more.
That looks about right. Now you're going to take your whisk. Oh, she's going to go put that in the sink first. And then once again, with your whisk, you got to be sure to whisk it really good, but lightly so you don't splash it all over the place. You want that to be mixed up really, really good.
And the egg kind of crushed down.
What's the consistency you're looking for, Gwen? Just really good and mixed?
Mm-hmm.
Does that look about right?
Needs to be mixed. There we go.
Okay. So now, you can carefully go put that in the sink. Tip it up so it doesn't spill everywhere. Remember? There you go. Get your other bowl out of the fridge.
What?
We had it over there to stay cool. You can see it's kind of a pea-sized crumble in there. Now, read your next instruction. How are you supposed to mix them together?
Let's see. Daddy, where were we?
We were on whisk the ingredients together.
Whisk and drizzle over the flour mixture. Add the ends and then mix together until everything appears moistened. To make 10 to 12 drop scones. Keep mixing the dough in the bowl until it comes together. Drop scones about 1 to 4 cups of dough each, 3 inches apart on a line. Brushes scones.
Okay, so we got to slowly add that and mix it all together.
Sheet.
All right, let me get you the mixer. Hang on a second. Okay, now we got to add this in slowly. Go ahead and turn it on, Gwen. And we're actually using the dough hooks instead of regular mixer hooks because it gets really, really sticky. And it's easier to get it all off the dough hooks. Get the edges real good. Cassie, can you hand me a spatula, please? Turn it up a little bit. You can see it's starting to get really sticky. Now, if you're going to use regular mixer blades, you want to be careful not to tilt it. Tilt it a little bit, Gwen. Because if you tilt it like that, it's with a regular mixer blade, it's going to throw that flour and stuff everywhere. All right, go ahead and turn it off.
That's better.
Okay. Now, let me pause as we clean this and get ready for our next step. Okay, we got all that mixed up, and you can see we got it into a sticky ball. So now, I believe you're going to have to put it back in the fridge. Read what it says. You were right here, I think. The drizzle.
Drizzle. Wait. Drop scones about 1 to 4 cups of dough, each 3 inches apart on a lined baking sheet. Brush scones with remaining heavy cream and for extra crunch. Sprinkle with crushed sugar. You can do this before or after refrigerating. In the next step, place scones on a plate or lined baking sheet. If your fridge has space, and refrigerate for at least 15 minutes.
Okay. So let's get these all dropped. So what we want to do, we got to get our pans out. Get our pans out down there, and I'll get our parchment paper. Okay, We got our pans ready. Now, she's going to put her hands in the flour a little bit, along with her spatula that we just put in the flour. Go ahead, Gwyn. That's good. And what you're going to do, she's going to make drop scones. So she's going to take her spatula and scoop up a little bit on there. Let me come to the other side here. And we've got our pans with parchment paper. We like to use the parchment paper because everything comes off a lot easier. More than that. You want good sized little scones. So about that. Now form it into a little ball, kind of. And then drop it on in the corner. You can use your hand, baby. You know that. There we go. Now she's just going to line those down the way there. Your next one's going to go right about here. That's a bit big. She's getting a big bunch there. About half of that. Yeah, I see that grin. She likes big scones. Not too big, though. We're making little drop scones, remember? About half of that. No, that's too big. About half of that. There you go. You want them to be consistent. Remember that. Consistency is what makes good scones. Now, some people like to mix dry fruit and different cheeses even, different stuff in the scones. We just like cinnamon scones, huh? So after we get these on there, we're going to brush them with a little bit more of the heavy cream and sprinkle some cinnamon on. That one wasn't good enough for you?
Just need a little more on it.
Okay, come on. You don't want your dough to get too warm. Now start a new row. You want to be equally separated there. If your hands are getting sticky, put a little more flour on there. After all, who doesn't like flour all over their hands, huh? Yeah, if your dough's too wet, you can always add a little more flour. And if it's too dry, you can add a little bit more of the heavy cream. Are you watching your sister cook?
Yeah.
Her older sister, Master Chef Cassie's over there making macaroni and cheese.
It's not that good as me.
Not as good as you.
I heard that.
Who's the chef in this kitchen?
Me.
Come on, don't let it get too warm.
I know. Trying to add more to this bowl.
Slide these over a little bit. There we go. You got room for like 2 more in between here. Maybe 3.
This dough usually takes out the flour.
Just drop that down on there. You ready for your other pan?
Uh-huh.
All right, we could probably put those two on the other pan. So, let me move this over here. And we'll get this other pan moved over. Let's put that one on this pan. And move that over here. Okay, she's all refloured and ready to go. All right, we're going to go ahead and finish this part up, get these in the fridge for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll start up again as we glaze them over with a little more heavy cream and cinnamon. Sound good, Gwen?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, everyone, hello, we're back. We've got these out of the fridge now. They're really good and cold. Now what we're going to do, we got a little more heavy cream over there, and Master Baker Gwenny's going to brush each of these with a little bit of the heavy cream. Go on.
Mm-hmm.
And what this is going to do, there's two reasons for this. One, it makes them a little crispier on top as they bake. Gives them a real good crisp on top. And then that cinnamon sitting there, what we're going to do is we're going to take that cinnamon and lightly sprinkle some over the top so it gives it a little bit of cinnamon flavor on top too. That's the way we like our scones.
Uh-huh. You can do them different if you'd like.
Yep. Some people like to make like a caramel drizzle or even put blueberries in them. All kinds of different stuff.
And make triangles.
Yep, you can pat them out and cut them into triangles, correct. Some people even make stars and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. But last time we made these, we made triangles.
They were good too, weren't they?
Uh-huh.
Here comes her sous chef Alec over to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Where are those things we made for home?
You want to get a good little coating on top of each one.
Mm-hmm. It's okay if you drop some of it on the thing.
Yep.
Right, Daddy?
Yes, it is. It's another good reason for the parchment paper. Easy cleanup when we're done, huh?
Uh-huh. You can just pick it up and then throw it away.
You know all the hairs in your face now. There you go. See a pretty Gwynny face. Even if it is a toothless grin at the moment.
This keeps on splashing.
All right. Now she's going to take her cinnamon, and when you do the cinnamon, y'all, you want to raise it real high.
As high as you can.
And just kind of sprinkle it around so it gets a good little coating on there. Not too much, though. How much you want on one? See, she's doing a little too much. Now you're getting too close. Here. Let Daddy do this sheet.
Daddy,
Which
why
one
can't
do?
I do that one?
Get it real high. And just go like, I'll let you do the last of it. No, see, you're getting too close and you're getting too much. You want a real light glaze on there. Okay. Let's get a little bit more on this one. I saw that. Now you go wash your hand again. That one over there is going to have real good cinnamon on it, huh?
Yeah. I want to try it.
Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put these, the oven's almost reached temperature. We're going to 400 degrees. And then we're going to put these in the oven for about 15 minutes or so until they're good and golden brown. So we'll see you when they come out. What do you say, Gwen?
Bye.
All right, the scones are out of the oven and they look delicious.
I hope you enjoyed this video.